Welcome back on this Monday. I've done all of the braids, the black, white, copper, white, black, blue, and now I'm starting to fill in that upper uh, part of the copper shape. It's important how you start your row, what direction you're starting your row, because that will determine what direction your row will end. And when we're working in a series of shapes like this, and this is similar if you were working in a series of circles, it's important that all of your yarn, your twining, weaving yarns, all your wefts are all ending in the same, weaving in the same direction. And because you're handling these all across along the way. They're separate, but they are at this part of the shape. You're going to weave across all the way. And I think I mentioned one time earlier, I was saying that it's almost like a baton race where you're handing off the baton, right? So one weft needs to wait, weaving in that direction, and needs to wait. And then when you're weaving across from the, let's say we're leaving, I've left mine to be all towards, weaving towards the right. So I'm gonna start my row on the left. I'm gonna start the whole shebang on the left. And so the black is going to weave to the furthest right shield. And that weaver of that shield is going to be ending up facing and weaving to the right. So this one coming from the left is going to hand off. You're going to make an interlock join, and like a baton, I like to think of it as a baton race. That's how you're handing off the baton. So this weaving weft from the right, weaving to the left, is going to grab that weaver of the blue shield that's weaving and had been left weaving to the right, and then they pass the interlock, and then that one turns around and weaves over towards the left, and that shape is waiting because it's been left weaving towards the right, and so then they pass on, they interlock, and then that one goes along. So anyway, that is what we're having to do. So you have to figure out, it's important how you start these wefts so that they will end up weaving in the correct direction that you want it to. So that's where we're at. And so I'll just show you the direction I've had to start the upper shield so that it will end up weaving. And like I said, I'm ending up, all my wefts are going to be ending up weaving towards the right. Even the black ones I set up to be weaving towards the right. And so when I was telling you it's important to start your weaving on the center of your shield, that those top centers. That's why it's also important to keep the yellow. I have a yellow marker to mark the center of each shield. That's very important too. Keep that center marker there so that you don't have to count and center yourself all the time. But when you started that shield, you started it at the center, and then you wove towards the your object, that towards the left-hand side of your object, and then you wove back and forth, and then you ended weaving towards the right. And that's what we're going to do with the shield. We're going to start it in a way that its wefts are ending, weaving towards the right. So I hope that all made sense. And I'll demonstrate that now. So here is the top of the far left shield on the left side of my robe. And you'll see that the weavers are ending, weaving towards the right. So you see that. And here is the other one. So I'm going to show you how I started that so that it would end up weaving towards the right. Okay? So I'll do this one for you. So here is the center of the shield. And I'm going to take these weavers, the blue weavers, and they are the same weight as all of my basic blue here. I've got some fine wefts here that I used for the braiding around this shape. And I'm going to determine the very center two. And I see that those are the center two. So I'm going to wrap around and enclose those two. Now, before it starts stepping over 2, 2, 2, I did have the apex of that shield was actually 4, right? So, but I'm adding a little extra oomph to this top of the shield by going 2 and then grabbing 1, doing a nahin turn, and then grabbing beyond 1 where I started. Okay, so now you'll see there's the 4. Here's the 4 that I've woven in those actions. Okay, so now I turn here and I'm weaving right, and I know that I want to turn 2 beyond, because there was 4 and then there was a retreat with the black, 2. So with the blue I want to expand 2, close 2, and then that leaves this 1 where I know I have to turn. So then I'll turn, do a nahin turn, and 2, and that ends up to where I turned before, but I know that I have to expand beyond that 2 warps. So then I enclose those 2 warps, do a nahin turn, and I come over here. I know that this is where I want to turn. So, because that would be 2 beyond where I turned before. So I'm going to grab and enclose this 2, these 2 warps, and then enclose 1, because I know that's where I want to turn. So then I do a nahin turn. So essentially I'm filling in the puzzle pieces to fit right where they should go. And that's how your shapes are going to stay flat and good. So I turned there. I know that I'm going beyond 2 here, because that's what I did with the black. I'd got receded the tube with the black, and now I'm going to expand to the blue. And I do a Naheen turn. So these sequences of where you turn, it's good to write it down. I know I did 2, 2, 2, 1, 1. That's how this upper curve of the copper got shaped. So now I'm going to go here. And I turned here, so I know I'm only going to go beyond 1. So I'm going to take this and grab that 1, and the Naheen turn. And you notice I'm doing nothing, of course, with those braids. I'm just filling in the shape. And it is important that this weight yarn is the same weight as the black that the shield sits in, the black field. So then, see, I've turned here, so I'm going 1 beyond. So I grab those 2, and then I grab the 1, and do the Naheen turn. Now this is the last one, because I know I turned here the last time, and I'm going to turn this last warp of the shield shape there. And then I turn. And and this is going towards the left. And I turned here, so I'm going to turn here, and that's that last warp of the shield shape. Okay, now notice I turn the corner and I'm weaving towards the right. But I already did this turn here, right? So I know I don't go do anything yet until the baton is passed. Okay, so there is how you would do that shield shape, so that the weaver is weaving towards the right. This black weaver here is weaving towards the right. This black weft is weaving towards the right. This is towards the right. So they'll all be sitting ready for the baton, to grab those batons. Anyway, that's how I like to think of it, batons. So I hope that you're all following along. If you wanted a hands-on experience with Naheen and doing a shield shape at home. But if not, you can always return to these videos on YouTube and start it when you want, or check into episodes that you might need some guidance along your own projects. So thank you for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow, where I'll be setting up the baton to be passed along, and you'll see what I mean when I talk about that. Okay, thank you. Bye.